You know, in pro sports, the line between becoming a legend and getting sidelined for good, it is razor thin. I mean, 1 minute you're on top of the world, making history. The next, you're on the floor and an entire franchise's future is just hanging in the balance. That, right there, is the price of greatness. And we just saw this brutal reality play out perfectly, didn't we? It's a story of this incredible, unparalleled achievement, immediately followed by a terrifying, just awful setback. Okay, so let's talk about Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs. We are literally witnessing a phenomenon. This guy just did something that hasn't happened in 43 years. He was named the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year with 100% of the first place votes. Think about that. Every single person voted for him. It was unanimous. It was completely unprecedented. And look, this wasn't just some award the media cooked up. Actual legends of the game were just in awe. Dirk Nowitzki said he's never seen anything like it. And at just 22 years old, Wemby became the youngest player ever to win this trophy. I mean, he reached the absolute pinnacle of defensive dominance. But here's the thing about sports. The pinnacle, it can be a very, very dangerous place. Because the very next day, everything changed. That celebration came to a screeching halt. In the middle of a heated playoff game, the whole story just took a violent turn. From the highest of highs to a sudden, stunning dead stop. He's driving to the basket and bam! He goes down hard. His face slams right into the court. The league's new defensive king is just motionless for a second. Then he gets up, walks straight to the locker room. And just like that, he's in the NBA's concussion protocol. The Spurs' playoff hopes, suddenly, they are in serious jeopardy. And look, this story, this incredible high followed by this terrifying low, it's not some isolated incident. This immense pressure, this crushing weight of expectation, it's a theme you see playing out all across the entire sports landscape right now. Okay, let's switch gears and look at baseball, where this pressure, it takes on a financial form, a huge financial form. You've got the New York Mets, and they're in a historic freefall, a 12-game losing streak. And their salvation, it's all supposed to come from one guy, Juan Soto, the man they just signed to a record-breaking contract worth $765 million. Even his own manager is saying, hey, we can't put all this on one player. But they are. Soto is just coming back from an injury, and he's being asked to single-handedly stop the bleeding for a franchise that has totally collapsed without her. That right there is the kind of pressure a 9-figure contract buys you. All right, now let's jump over to the NFL. The pressure cooker there is a little different. It's all about the desperate search for a franchise savior. And let me tell you, the buzz around the upcoming 2026 NFL draft class is, well, it's not good at all. In fact, is being called one of the weakest in recent memory. So what happens in a weak class? Well, the spotlight turns into a laser beam. The hopes and dreams of multiple desperate NFL franchises now rest squarely on the shoulders of one guy. Indiana's Heisman-winning quarterback, Fernando Mendoza. He's not just the guy they think will go number one. He's expected to be a savior. Yeah, no pressure there, right? And of course, all this pressure just gets cranked up to 11 in the postseason. That's the ultimate proving ground, right? It's where legacies are made or where they're completely shattered. Welcome to the playoff gauntlet. So let's head back to the NBA for a second. Take a look at the Philadelphia 76ers. They are walking into a massive battle against the Boston Celtics, a legitimate championship favorite. And they have to do it without their superstar, their former MVP, Joel Embiid. He's out, recovering from an emergency appendectomy. So his team is left to face the #1 seed on the road all by themselves. And this chart right here, it tells you everything you need to know about how crucial Embiid is. I mean, look at that difference. With him on the court, the Sixers win over 63% of their games. Without him, they're a losing team. They win less than half their games. So the pressure on the rest of that roster to somehow step up is just, it's absolutely massive. And this kind of pressure, it's not just on individual players. Whole franchises feel it. Over in the NHL, we've got a classic David versus Goliath story brewing. On one side, you have the Vegas Golden Knights. These guys are veterans. They just won the Stanley Cup in 2023. And their opponent? The Utah Mammoth, a team that's brand spanking new, playing in its very first playoff game ever. So, okay, we've talked about Wembanyama, Soto, Mendoza, the Sixers, the Mammoth. You see the pattern here, right? These aren't just a bunch of random sports stories. when you take a step back and look at the big picture, you realize they're all pieces of a much larger and frankly more profound story about what's happening in modern sports. And it really forces us to ask a pretty fundamental question, doesn't it? We all love to celebrate the big wins and the championships, but what is the true cost of all that greatness? What's the actual price these athletes and these teams are paying to get there?
And that leads to another tough question. What's our role in all of this? As fans, as the media, are we creating a culture that puts this totally unsustainable burden on these athletes? Are we asking them to be more than just players? Are we asking them to be saviors, to be superhuman?
And that really brings us to the bottom line, which is any of this sustainable? Can human bodies and minds actually handle this escalating cycle of insane expectation and brutal consequences year in and year out? I mean, really, can this last? So here's the big takeaway. This is the why it matters moment. What we're seeing is a fundamental shift in sports. Entire franchises now literally rise or fall based on the health of a single player. All that money we talked about, those massive 9-figure contracts, has created this win now or else culture with absolutely zero patience. And the physical toll? It's undeniable. We see it in the injury reports every single night. These aren't just a few unlucky stories. This is the new and frankly brutal reality of sports in the 21st century. So I want to leave you with this final thought, a question for you to chew on. If you look across the entire world of sports, every league, every country, which athlete do you think is facing the absolute most pressure to deliver right now? I really want to know what you think. Drop your answer in the comments below.